In today's video, we're going to install front lip spoiler, carbon fiber rear lip spoiler, check out these headlight lids, tint all the windows, remove the ugly wheel covers, and little touches like the mudguards, center caps, and lug caps to our Teresa or Model Y. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you're just joining us, on our last video, we applied DIY color PPF from DIY Wrap Club. And on the final look, the wheel covers were off, but I didn't cover them. So first I'm going to show you how to remove them. You could simply use a trim movable tool and pry the ends of the wheel covers. Once all 5 corners are off, slide the tool in the center and pry it out while lifting the wheel cover. And it should just pop right out. And honestly, I don't mind the look of the factory wheels, but because it was missing the center cap, it just didn't look right. So I got some caps on Amazon and I ordered a few different ones to compare. This first one costs $16.99. It's matte black, has Tesla logo imprinted on the cap, which looks pretty good. But the rings were very thin and flimsy, and the lug covers are glossy, which I didn't like. And the second one cost $24.99, which was the most expensive out of the 3, but it came in a very nice packaging, but it's a glossy cap with the silver Tesla logo, so I think this is going to stick out like sore thumb. But the lug covers are satin black. Now this last one was the cheapest at $7.99. As you can see, it didn't come in a nice packaging, but it's satin black with no logo, so I think this should match the wheels better. And the lug caps are texture matte black. So I did like the look and color of the first one, but the cap was way too small. As you can see, it was moving around and making noise. And I was able to spin it with my hand, so it felt like it will come right off if I hit a bump on the road. And center caps should not come off this easily. Second one seemed like it'll fit snugly, but it was too shiny and the silver Tesla logo stood out too much for my taste. So I didn't even bother putting it on. And surprisingly, the last one, which was the cheapest out of the 3, fits very snug. Colors match the wheels perfectly, and the texture black lug caps looks pretty good. So I kept this one and returned the rest. And here's before and after shot. And as you can see with the center caps and the lug covers, it looks so much better now. And I think I could roll with this until I find the wheels that I like. And honestly, I'm kind of contemplating if I should go with the 18-inch wheels and put a beefier tires so that, it's more comfortable on the road. And I'm going to be camping with this car pretty often, so I need that thicker sidewall to give me more comfort when I'm doing a little light off-roading. Next, I added mud guards or splash guards to replace the tiny little splash guard that came with. And this mudguard uses factory mounting holes, so no drilling or modification is needed. It comes with all the necessary hardware to mount them, and when you compare the two, you can tell how much larger the new mudguards are compared to the factory ones, and it'll have more coverage, and actually it'll catch a lot of the debris from the tire, so it'll protect the car's paint as well. And you could use the hardware that came with, but I'm reusing the factory tabs. And here it is all installed. It sits lower and wider, so again, more protection to the body and gives the car a little wider stance, which I like. Okay, now for the bigger parts. First, the carbon fiber lip spoiler from EB Base. This is the same size and look of the spoiler that the performance trim comes with, and it looks fantastic. This dry carbon fiber look is spot on, and the double-side tape is already on the spoiler and a QR code for installation guide video. Next is the carbon fiber trim that goes around the headlight, and they advertised it as real carbon fiber, so it costs 60 bucks. So I ordered it, even though there's cheaper options, but it's not. It's just a carbon fiber print on top of ABS plastic, as you can see, and it's more noticeable when you compare with the spoiler. But for being a dry carbon fiber print, it's not too bad, and it's well made. Next is the front lip spoiler. It comes in 3 pieces, a bunch of double-side tape, adhesion promoter, and screws. Now there are a few choices, but I picked this one because I wanted something subtle and less flashy. And it was also available in glossy finish, but I got the matte color to match the rest of the factory trims. So let's go ahead and install this front lip spoiler first. First we need to assemble the pieces together and put double-side tape all around the edges and screw the spoiler to the bumper with these pre-drilled holes. Now on the instructions, it didn't say to put double-side tape here, but since it's held with just 2 tiny screws, I figured adding double-side tape will strengthen the bond together. So I cleaned the surface with isopropyl alcohol and put double-side tape at the edge, and then I screwed 2 pieces together. Once both sides are put together, wipe down the whole surface with isopropyl alcohol and apply the adhesion promoter. And wear a glove or something to protect your fingers because this thing smells like gasoline. After that, I put double-side tape all along the edge and to the middle. And you could follow these grooves to put the double side tape. And again, totally not necessary, but for added bond to the bumper, I put my own heavy duty 3M double side tape to this area, which will get the most downforce. And after applying adhesion promoter to the bumper, peel off just the ends of the double side tape and let it hang out. And line up the spoiler to the bumper and attach both ends first. And if you have a helping hand, this will be much easier to do. But if you don't, like me, having a box below the spoiler will support it while you line it up. And once it's all aligned, pull the double side tape section by section while pressing firmly to the bumper. And I'm applying heat so that the double side tape bonds better to the bumper. And finish it off by screwing it to the bumper, and that's pretty much it. And after putting about 2,000 highway miles, it's still on there solid. And again, it's not flashy, but adds subtle look and completes the front end, because to me, the front end was kind of missing that chin, So with this spoiler, it completes the look and it matches the profile of the side skirts. Now for the trim around the headlights, it looked really good on picture, so I wanted to see it in person to see if I like it. So before fully taping it on, I'm going to mock it with the masking tape to get an idea. And initially, I liked it, but seeing it from different angles, it looks somewhat out of place and kind of kills the smooth aerodynamics of the front bumper, especially in this angle. I mean, if you're looking at dead on, it looks pretty good, but in different angles, I don't know. It looks like a ricer. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, like a rice rocket. So, yeah, I'll pass on these. But looks are purely subjective. So, what do you guys think? Would you have put these on? Let me know in the comment section. Oh, and it also came with this trim that goes around the side cameras, and yeah, this is a big no-no for me. And finally, the part that I was most excited for, the rear lip spoiler. And again, this is the same design as the one that comes with the performance trim. So it's going to enhance airflow at high speeds without disturbing the aerodynamics. So first, put the spoiler on, measure each side to make sure it's centered, put the locator sticker. And if I was putting this on a factory paint, I would just clean the surface really thoroughly with isopropyl alcohol and just double side tape the spoiler on. But since I have PPF with ceramic coating, it's very slippery. So, I need to apply adhesive promoter. So I'm going to tape all around the spoiler so I know where to apply the adhesive promoter. After that, heat up the trunk and the spoiler, peel just the ends of the double side tape like we did on the front lip spoiler, and let it hang out, and peel it off while applying pressure. And after that, I apply heat to get the maximum bond. And that's pretty much it. Again, subtle difference, but makes the world of difference. And in general, I like lip spoilers on cars. So to me, this looks very good. And if you want to mod your Model Y with the parts that I'm using, I'll have links to all the items in the video description for your convenience. And if you're looking to buy a new Tesla, you could use my referral code when purchasing your new Tesla. Now to finish the look, the tint. And I take it to my go-to shop, Diamond Window Tint in Seattle metro area, and this is my 5th car that I'm taking it to them. I got my Prius done, Outback Wilderness, Prius Prime, Honda Pilot Trail Sport, Ram 1500 Rebel, and the Model Y. Oh wait, this is my 6th car. And I always take it to them because they do an amazing job, and the owner actually works on the car. So, when it comes out of the shop, it's nearly perfectly done. So if you're in the Seattle metro area, check out Diamond Window Tinting. And he told me he does a ton of Teslas every month, and I've seen his PPF work on cars, and it looks immaculate. And this time around, the tint that I'm getting is the XPEL Prime XR, which is a step down from top tier XR Plus, which I've been getting. But after putting the XR on the Ram, honestly, I didn't really notice too much difference between the XR Plus and the XR. Also, the color is more of a true smoke color rather than, that bluish hue that the XR Plus has. Not to mention it costs less too. So I think the XR is the sweet spot in XPEL lineup. And to evenly match the shades of all windows, first he measures light transparency for all the windows without tint, and for the front window, it's metering at 77, rear window is 26, small back window is 23, and the rear hatch window is 18. And with the 15% tint in the front, it's metering at 11. So to match the front windows, we're putting 35% tint, which is metering at 10 for the back windows. And for the rear hatch window, we're putting 55% tint, which is metering at 11. So it's going to be relatively same shade all around. And I'm getting the XR plus 70% tint for the front windshield. And honestly, with the 70% tint, you can't even tell it's tinted, but still provides the best UV and heat protection while having crystal clear view. And here it is. And even with the 15% tint, because of the white seats, it still looks pretty light. But overall, it's a very clean look. And as you can see, the tint job is flawless. It's right at the edge of the windows, so you don't see any gap in between, which that's how it should be. And here's what it looks like from the inside. From the outside, you do get that little bit of darker tint, but from inside, it looks lighter. So you have a clear view of your surrounding. And the rear looks a bit darker, and that's because he recommended to go with the 45% tint to perfectly match the front window. But, my kids are going to be riding in the back, so I wanted to go slightly darker. But again, overall, it's a very close shade all around. So now with the tinted PPF for the headlights, the light bar, and rest of the part that we added today, our Teresa looks complete. Well, minus the wheels. And again, once I decide which route that I'm going to go with, obviously I'll make a video for you guys. And on the next video, I'm going to compare aftermarket versus OEM roof bar, and you'll find out which one I ended up keeping on Teresa. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you won't miss when my next video is uploaded. Also, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button. So thank you all for tuning in today, and until next time, keep chasing adventures, and I'll see you all on my next video.